What's up, guys, and welcome to November's edition of the Mythgard Developer Stream. This is the third one in the series since we started doing them, and it's a pretty tasty big one. Whatever adjective you want to throw in there, it's gonna be a great one. And as you can see, I'm joined by two of the wonderful rhinos right now, Noah and Phu. How are you guys doing?
Hey guys, I'm doing good.
Hi. Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you, Woody?
I'm good. I'm all gravy, as I like to say. Not many people get what I mean by that, but I'm all gravy. I'm all happy. I'm all good. But yeah, we have got an absolute, I don't want to say massive one because that could be perceived as a very long kind of dev stream, but we've got a very information overload packed stream for you guys. Tons and tons of info. We're going to be talking about expansion number 2. Yes, that is on the horizon. And we're also going to be talking about something that a few people, or a lot of people, have been screaming out for a little while, which is a competitive scene in Mythgard. Not a one-off tournament, an actual embedded competitive scene, but more on that as we get going. Now, it's been a pretty crazy or pretty big week for Mythgard as well. A big patch dropped recently at nearly 100 or just over 100 card changes. Lots of balanced stuff there for you guys to get back in, chew the fat on, and really start to rework the kind of deck builds you have going. And we also have the next kind of, I don't want to say minor step, but the next kind of step on the competitive Mythgard ladder, which is happening this weekend with KG's Clash of the Deep. And before we jump into the dev stream, here's a little trailer to wet your whistle on KG's Clash of the Deep. I can only apologise, guys. It is Clash in the Deep. I cannot read to save my life. Not Clash of the Deep, Clash in the Deep. And that's happening this weekend. If you're interested in taking part in that tournament, the best place to find out more information before this weekend is in the KG Discord channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, it's linked below. If you're watching us on Twitch, then one of our handy bots called Rhino Noah will be linking it in the chat. Make sure you keep an eye out for that. But enough of the fluffy intro out the way, gents. Shall we jump into why people are here? Expansion number 2. It feels like we only got Rings of Immortality the other day, but it's been in the game now for a few months, or a couple of months, and expansion 2 is on the horizon. I'm going to jump across to Phu first, just to kind of expansion number 2. I've spoke to you guys a little bit about working titles and things like that, but why don't you just give us the kind of the lowdown, the scoop on expansion number 2, what it's embedding, where it's taking Mythgard on both a lore, story, kind of gameplay direction.
So it's definitely very interesting. It's just we plan on releasing it in January, so 4 months after ROI. Don't have a name I want to share quite yet, but there's going to be 2 new paths, 2 new powers, more cards than ROI, same great art, lots of really interesting gameplay. So it's definitely going to be a really interesting expansion. We just went into testing with it, with the patch that we dropped yesterday. So, our QMO testers are already banging away at it and having fun and finding bugs and making suggestions. So it's going to be really cool.
Nice. I mean, knowing that QMO are already testing it is a huge step, right? It's a playable format in the game. They might not have all the artwork in there. I mean, to be honest, I love the whip artwork anyway, but it's not got all the artwork in there. But it's a playable format in the game, and that is to give people, I don't want to say reassurance, but kind of let people know that, hey, this is coming in January, right?
Yeah, all the cards are fully functional, and the paths and the powers, and people are making decks and trying things out.
Nice. I hear from a little birdie that Noah has been actually playing around with some of these paths, right? And you said there are 2 paths in the expansion. Now, can you tell us anything about the 2 paths? Can you tell us anything about the kind of the general gameplay of the expansion? Anything like that? You've been actually playing it?
Yeah, so let's see, what's the best way to put this? If you like to go wide and kind of stay up on minion count, you will definitely have a path that suits that. And on the flip side of that, if you like, kind of dump all my eggs in one basket and just have one minion and go nuts with it, you can also be incentivized to do that. And it's been a lot of fun seeing the two almost opposite play styles being shown at the same time. The duality of it is a lot of fun to play with.
Nice. I love that. There's a contrast between the paths, right? They offer two complete unique play styles. I mean, Mythgard paths do that anyway. They're very much they're not a side salad to your deck. They are very much the sauce, the condiment that makes it taste so good. And that's what I like about the paths in Mythgard, that they really encourage that deck builder. I mean, you can even build a deck around the path. That's how kind of important and pivotal they can be. I'm excited to see more. I'm really, really excited to see more. Now, if people are thinking, come on, just show us a trailer, show us something. Come on, please. Don't worry, there is more information coming soon. We wanted to kind of sit down and talk to you and let you know that, hey, Expansion 2 is coming. Release window is January. That's where the release window there. Release date will come later on. But don't worry, you're not going to leave this stream completely empty-handed, because you do have a few rather tasty cards to show you. Complete, finished artwork cards. What I will say though, and I'm sure Noah will correct me if I'm wrong, but the text you're currently going to see on the cards now is the current text and the current power of the card, but that is subject to change based on queue mode feedback. So if a certain card is slightly powerful, slightly underpowered, there is a chance that text will change. So don't be holding a grudge against us three if the expansion comes and you're like, wait a minute, that text has changed. Don't be holding a grudge, but you're going to get to see these cards now. I'm going to kick off with one that we showed off last stream, right, Noah? And that is a carnivore. Noah, can you talk us through a carnivore, my friend?
Should have pulled it up. Give me just a second.
It's okay. I will read the text. Don't worry. I've got your back here. So carnivore, it's warded. It has the text on it: banish all spells cast by your opponent their last turn. We saw the artwork. We saw the work in progress artwork. This is now the final artwork. But yeah, Noah, talk us through the card now.
Yeah, so we talked a bit last month about the kind of glowing effect that you see, and I kind of hinted that it had to do with the consumption of magic. And we saw a lot of neat guesses as to what that might mean. And now you get to actually see that this is a way to have some incentive to stopping things like Bald Mountain. We've seen Bald Mountain in like YG decks pulling back spells and using it. So this is a good way to kind of stop that. And it's also just like a good value body with good abilities on it as well. Like it's just solid playable with upside, and that's a lot of fun. The spell eating aspect is something we haven't done a lot with, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, I mean, the 6/3 is not saying that they drop it in lane 7. It's not the kind of thing that you'll go, I'll just leave that little 6 damage minion out there wide, don't worry. I'll focus on my game over here. You got to deal with that thing quite quickly. And it's obviously out of range of a Magnus or a Thunderclap, so it's got that kind of slightly more sustainable body with it as well. But it's nice. It's nice. I'm looking forward to seeing what people in chat are kind of going crazy with right now. And kind of the theory craft that comes around it. And the next card we are going to tease, or not tease, because we're actually showing it, so it's not a tease, is one that I teased on Twitter yesterday, asking you to squint very, very, very heavily to try and work out what the card was, and it was Gremlin Heist. So Gremlin Heist is look at the spells in an enemy's hand, pick one. All copies of the chosen spell in the player's hand, deck, and boneyard become ephemeral and have their mana cost increased by 3 permanently. It's a 3-drop 1 gem blue. This thing is like, it eats Mind Freak and then takes it as a steroid and then throws it back in the face. Phu, which Rhino felt like Mind Freak wasn't troll enough that they had to make a Gremlin Heist?
I honestly do not remember who came up with this card. We we are usually chatting in voice while we design the cards. But yeah, this is an interesting one. We're always searching for ways to screw with your opponent in interesting ways that also hopefully aren't too incredibly frustrating. But I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this and seeing whether or not it needs balancing or if it's going to be good to go.
I mean, I can't wait to troll some people with this thing. It's going to be so good, right? There's going to be. I can't wait for the top 5 clips to come in and someone pulls it and they play it and I don't know their opponent's got 3 of a spell in a hand and that is it. It's just goodbye. Like, see you later. They're all expensive hand. They're ephemeral, so they burn them. It's just it's going to be curtains. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait to see what happens to it. Noah, have you dabbled with this one at all? I mean, I'm going to keep tapping on your door because you've got the luxury of playing it right now.
Yeah, so I've played with this a little bit. I guess as an additional bit, a little additional nugget we can toss in is that I was playing with this because of the ability to have additional effects that kind of dip into this playing with the opponent's things in blue this expansion. And so it kind of fits in with a little sub-theme we have going.
So blue's not only trolls on card, it's also trolls by nature, right? So you're kind of promoting the trolls by nature as well. And the next card we are going to look at, another card, guys. You thought you were going to just hear a tease about the expansion. You're getting showered with cards, we could say. Next one is Trustee Heiling, which comes with an item called Battle Boots. Trustee Heiling is a 1-drop purple. The Awaken ability is add Battle Boots item to your hand. The Demise ability is add any items that are modifying this minion to your hand. What do Battle Boots do? They're a 1-drop ephemeral card. They give a minion +0, +1, and Swift. I mean, we know purple have got that, I don't say archetype, but they've got the whole support of items. They've got the self buff, they've got the card buff, they've got the multiple buff, they've got buff of items. Noah, have you played with this card at all? How have you been finding this card if you have played with it?
I was actually doing quite a bit of testing with this. I like the idea of the items modifying the minion coming back to hand. It kind of... Typically, the 1-mana item minions have just kind of been a means to an end in that it's the item that you wanted the most. And with this, you get to actually dump items on this, make an investment into the minion, and then get those items back should the minion die. Yes. And so I was doing some testing with it. And one of the cool use cases actually that I found was not playing this on 1, but instead playing it on 2 and immediately battle bootsing it to have the 2-mana 2/2 Swift.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, Swift is a keyword that I think is, I'm not say underused, but it is one that can really swing the tide of a battle. It's such a good keyword when used in the when used by the skillful players, not myself. It's definitely one that really showcases Mythgard's kind of lane system and placement system to the highest ability. But it's cool. It's purple getting more love for those boots. I mean, every time I see items, I'm just kind of like instantly thinking, who can I throw this on? What can I throw this on to try and build out that purple deck? I've always liked playing purple. And the last one, guys, we have got a mythic for you. Ooh, okay. You guys didn't expect to see a mythic today. Now I'm going to try and pronounce this correctly without getting it horribly wrong. It is Phantasmagorgonian. I believe that's how you pronounce the name. Phantasmagorgonian is a 6-drop orange, 2 orange gem mythic defender. When enemy minions attack this or adjacent lanes, your opponent takes 2 damage. Any ping damage is always a win for me. Awaken, the top 9 minions of your deck get +1/+1 and stealth permanently. There are people going to be slipping out their chair when they read this text. Like, Phu, talk us through this card, please.
Well, it's interesting, right? Like this is the first time that we're really giving stealth to cards outside of purple. It's obviously not stealth directly on the minions. It's something a little bit different. But I think having a bunch of stealth minions that you can play in orange is definitely interesting. There's quite a lot of orange strategies that rely on minions. So it'll be we'll see what people do with this. Like stealth is one of those abilities where it's actually really difficult to predict how it'll play into the game because it could potentially change the impact of most of the minions, right? Like when your opponent doesn't know what you're playing, it really changes things, and we wanted to see that with more cards. So it's something that we're spreading around.
Nice. Yeah, I found that playing the other day that someone was playing someone playing cards with stealth, and it was very much a case of it's that instant you're out of your comfort zone. You're swimming in deep water. You're like, well, do I take the trade? Is it a trade? I don't know. Are they bait? It almost becomes a game of poker in terms of you're trying to call your opponent's hand. You're trying to work out almost the outs of, well, what's the percentage? This is how much mana they've got. What card have they played on this turn? It's really good. So giving that to another colour, I'm really happy with that. 5/7, 5 attack, 7 body. It's a bit of a beast, you could say. Noah, have you had the chance of dabbling in this monstrosity of a card?
So I have, and it's actually kind of funny. We just talked about the mind gaminess of the stealth ability. I had a game last night that I had played this, and then I top decked a behemoth, and I was testing against someone in queue mode, and I was in a voice chat with them, and I played this behemoth that had stealth, and they just went, "Wait, did you actually cast behemoth?" And I was like, "No, you don't know that. It's stealth." So yeah, I've definitely had some fun with this. It's cool.
Yeah, I can see those. I can see some people getting. I don't want to say frustrated, but starting to get even more scared of orange, right? Because orange can be pretty intimidating as it is, but this Phantasmagorgonian is definitely gonna make. I mean, it's that heart it's got in its hand. It's just the artwork is just stunning. A coral reef beetle thing with a heart in its hand. This looks. I mean, that's up my alley. I'm happy with that all day. But that's your spoils of cards, people. That is your spoils of cards. We took you through 4 cards then. So expansion 2 is well on the way. QMO testing is happening, and expansion release this coming January. Don't worry, it's not next January. This coming January. And yeah, that's 4 cards you can start theory crafting with straight away. You can start instantly going, oh my god, what can I start building? There will obviously be.
Can I throw out another spoiler? Sorry to interrupt, buddy.
No, food, do it.
Yeah,
treat us.
So we have. There's one other. There's lots of interesting cards. There's so many different interesting things, but I'll just throw out there as sort of a troll teaser. There's a card that lets you change what power you have mid-game.
What?
It's a little mind-blowing, and it's pretty cool.
So, yeah, as in...
It's awesome.
So, is it like... no, apologies for bringing up another card game here, but there was a card from Magic called Fair the Wishes, I believe, where you could pull a card from your side deck into... Yeah, no, is this just any power from the game?
It's not any power. It's actually a brand new power.
Oh.
So when I said that there are 2 new powers in the expansion, I actually lied. There's 3 new powers because there's a card that gives you a different power, which I will not reveal. But it's like a brand new power that only comes from this one card, and if you play it, you get that power and you can use it for the rest of the game.
Nice. Wow. I'm looking forward to seeing that bad boy. I am looking forward to seeing that bad boy. That's well, thank you very much for the spoiler, and that is that straight up there is a spoiler. I had no idea that was coming. Wow, changing your power mid game, that can completely throw off your opponent's game kind of rhythm, right? They're kind of like, oh, I'm playing around this, I'm playing around their power, and all of a sudden you drop whatever this new power is, bang in their face and go deal with that now. And it's what? That's super exciting, So. Yep, January is when you can expect it. Over December, obviously, there is stuff coming in December. I'm not going to say too much. Developer stream will happen in December where there'll be a lot more information then. But you also get more information about the expansion around the beginning of January, I think is when we're saying for now. Beginning of January, you'll have all the information you could possibly want, including trailers, including gameplay clips, including card reveals, including everything you could possibly get. But it is on its way. Stay excited. I'm excited. You guys, I know, will be excited. And that takes on to the kind of the I don't want to say the wrap up because we're not going anywhere just yet. But the final part of the stream, which is the Mythgard competitive season. Now, this again, guys, is in the works. It is obviously not happening, not starting right now, but it is something that is very much built or planned enough to bring you the information. So I'm going to lead you over to Phu, who's going to talk you through Mythgard's first ever competitive season.
Yeah, so 2021, right? Like, hopefully we get a better year. Starting with expansion, the first ranked ladder season will be the first qualifying ranked ladder for the competitive season. We expect to have 6 more ranked ladder seasons that qualify. And at the end of the year, there will be obviously a tournament. In between each season, there will be tournaments. So we're talking about 4 to 5 tournaments between these seasons. And so whether you're playing on ranked ladder or you're playing in the tournaments at the end of the season, there'll be an opportunity to win points to qualify for Mythgard World Championships. We're going to have a total prize pool over the year of 20K. So it's quite a lot considering the player base of Mythgard right now.
$20,000 is a very tasty sum.
20K USD. I guess I should qualify that it's not, I don't know, pick your currency that's like,
Yeah.
you know. Yeah. 20,000 USD. It's pretty tasty. So definitely people hopefully will want to compete either in ranked or in the tournament system, qualify for the World Championships and get themselves crowned as Mythgard World Champion. We'll have a trophy and everything. So
Nice.
it should be a lot of fun. It'll be really cool and exciting.
Yes, definitely. So just to clarify, and I know you said this already, so I'm not trying to get you to repeat yourself, but I know this is a big thing. Someone who's been involved in other card games, this is one of the questions that I see thrown around the competitive scene a lot, is you're saying there's tournaments in between the ladder seasons, so you can qualify by being at the top of the ladder or competing at the top of the ladder. The higher you finish on the ladder, I imagine you get more points. But in between those, the kind of standalone tournaments, you can earn points, enough points from those alone to qualify as well for the World Championships.
It's actually hard to tell if you're going to be able to qualify purely from tournaments. I think some people will. Like, obviously, if you place very high in all of the tournaments, you'll probably have enough points. Essentially, the feature that I didn't talk about is that there will be a qualifying tournament before the World Championships. So our plan is to have a 16-player World Championships, but before that, there'll be a much larger, probably 128 or 64-player qualifying tournament. That will be entry into that will be based on points. So that will award points, and the top 16 players by points will make it into the World Championships. If you win the qualifying tournament, that will also guarantee a berth in the World Championships.
Wow.
So there's, you can there's various ways to get in, is what I want to say. And also, like, the points for tournaments and the points for ranked ladder seasons will go up a little bit over time, so that the tournaments towards the end of the season and the ranked ladders towards the end of the season will be worth a little bit more. So, there'll be an opportunity for people to catch up and whatnot.
Nice. So literally anyone can make it. It is the Mythgard dream, if you want to call it. Anyone can make it where you are on ladder. You compete in these tournaments, you win these tournaments, you're there, you're in that final. You got one hand on the Mythgardian Cup, and you just got to fight all the other Mythgardians off to claim it. Now, you said the prize pool is $20,000 USD. Just to clarify, like you said, no cryptocurrency, none of this pulling their leg.
If it was 20K Bitcoin, that would be crazy.
Yeah, indeed. Now you said 2021. Is there a start window? So you said, is it with the expansion? So there's no set release date on the expansion, but the day the expansion launches is when the day the first season starts.
Yes. So the first season should start the day the expansion launches, or possibly a little bit after, but around that time. we plan on revamping how points are awarded in the champions tier for the rank ladder, so that it'll be a little bit more like an elo system. It won't be quite as grindy. That'll launch with the expansion, and so people, depending on their place on that, will earn points towards getting into the qualifying tournament.
Nice, excellent. Now, obviously, I can imagine 2021's potentially only the start of this. Like, it all goes well with the with Mythgard, with the tournament, with the World Championships. Obviously, hopefully, 2022, 2023, 2024, it stays around as a kind of regular staple of the Mythgard's yearly season.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying.
Nice. Wow. So competitive scene on the way. Expansion 2 on the way. We told you guys. I told you this was an information overload, sensory overload stream developer. I was going to say podcast. It's not a podcast, but you can see it as a podcast. If you want to listen to it as a podcast, it's fine. You can listen to it as a podcast. But yeah, that's kind of the wrap up we have there. Now, apologies if you wanted kind of more reveals in terms of flashy trailers, animations, all things like that. It is very much a case of this is stuff in the works, and we wanted to kind of bring you guys this information saying that this is on the way. This is coming. December is notoriously I don't say a quieter month. It's a very busy month in gaming, but there are a lot of commitments across the board for just about every family, every household. So we wanted to get the information out. Now you let know it's coming, and then as of January, you're going to expect Mythgard to come at you literally 100 miles an hour with all the information and the new competitive season. So it's the time now to really get in there, really get this new balance patch, these 100 new changes that have happened recently. Balance patch, get them under your wing, get them understanding, ready for that competitive season kicking off. As you said, where you can qualify through tournaments or through ladder placements, and expansion 2 coming in January. Wow. Gentlemen.
So, actually, Woody, if I could say something about the balance patch.
Oh, yeah, no, by all means, fire away.
So something interesting I think that we neglected to mention about the balance patch is that with Mythgard, I think Mythgard is probably one of the few games that you're going to see a balance patch that hits so many cards, and in which we're trying to get a lot of underused core cards into some sort of position where there can be play. And so I think that's something very interesting that we can do with Mythgard that you're not going to see in a much larger established game. And so if you're looking for that sort of shakeup in metas, where things don't really go stale and there's always potentially something exciting that can happen, that's something that we have here that it's I think definitely unique to Mythgard, and it's a little bit easy to overlook, because I think most games they'll make like small changes between seasons to 4 or 5 cards, and it'll usually be like, oh, we're going to nerf the top cards because they're breaking the meta. And that was not the goal at all. We did a few nerfs, but we also made a lot of changes to existing cards to try to make them more interesting. And so, like, when you get a card in Mythgard, you never really know if it's going to turn out to be something that is really strong for the next season, and you should, keep it around, and it has value.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like you said, it's a bold move, making 100 changes like you wouldn't see in many other games. But it's definitely one that I like it when developers take the approach and make these kind of vast changes, because it shows they're clearly looking to shake things up. And having stuff shaken up is brilliant. Like, as James Bond wanted his Mr. Martini, shaken not stirred. So shaking them up is always better, right? But no, is anything else you guys want to add at all before we wrap up this stream and let people get back to, or now get back onto Mythgard, ready, grinding for that competitive season?
I think that's about it.
That's cool.
Ooh,
that wasn't a trick question. Don't worry. It wasn't a trick question. I'm not trying to catch you guys off. Or maybe I am. Oh, there you go. Double-edged sword.
Yeah, put
We're
me on the
getting there.
spot with my boss watching.
Watch for. We're gonna have a Christmas event. I don't know what it is yet, but we're definitely gonna have one. So we'll be patching in December with something cool for Christmas and New Year's and just the winter holidays in general. We're planning on adding a whole bunch of stuff. We just did a new emote system that'll let us add tons of new emotes to the game. Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue adding features, and Mythgard just keeps getting better, I think.
Indeed it does. And yeah, more information on the Christmas event in the developer stream for December. It won't be a very long stream in December, but it will kind of be wrapping up or giving you all the info, all the download, much like November's was for the Halloween event, for the Christmas event there, and taking you through that. But I just want to give a big thanks to Phu and Noah. They are extremely busy. As you heard today, there is a lot of stuff coming to the game, and that all requires a lot of work. So these guys are like flat out relentlessly busy. So a massive thank you to you guys for giving up your time to sit down with me and chat and keep the community up to date with not only keeping up to date, kind of revealed to them the exciting horizons of Mythgard. So thank you again, gentlemen, for that. And thank you to you guys for stopping by, watching, whether you be on YouTube or whether you be on Twitch. If you missed the end of it, it's on YouTube now. But if you missed the end of it, you missed this part as well. So that's completely useless information. However, this is on YouTube right now as well. So if you want to go watch it again for any other reason, you want to share it, it is over on YouTube as well as what you just watched on Twitch now. But guys, thank you very much for stopping by. Have a great day, morning, evening, whatever it is, wherever you guys are. Make sure you stay safe. And until next time, Mythguardians, goodbye.